something abnormal is happening in the market and most people are missing it.
Nothing to see here, please.
We've been tracking this data for months, and we're seeing a shift in the greater Knoxville area that looks completely different than the national average.
Today, Christian and I are going to pull back the curtains and show you exactly what's happening beneath the headlines.
If you want the real story, that insider data of what's going on in Knoxville as far as pricing, as far as listings, and as far as where Knoxville is going, you're absolutely in the right place.
Before we start, we want to hear from you. Leave us a comment below. What are the biggest questions you have about the greater Knoxville market today? We'll pick 3 comments and feature it in our next video. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications so you don't miss a beat.
Across the US, active listings have climbed about 11% year over year, and days on market are up by nearly 18%, and this is a clear sign of a cooling demand.
But Knoxville? Totally different story. The greater Knoxville metro area saw a 3.9% rise on listings, and an average sales price went up 6.2% compared from last year. That outperforms the national average almost by more than double.
And that's the abnormal part, right? We're not really following the national slowdown. Local demand remains strong, and that's fueled by out-of-state relocations and continuous population growth.
And honestly, Tennessee has never followed the national average. Even in 2008, when the housing crash happened, Tennessee was one of the states that got less impacted by the whole housing crash. So what's driving the resilience, you will ask? Well, migration momentum. Knoxville remains a net-in migration city. Over 62% of luxury buyers are here, and they're coming from a very high-cost states like Florida, Illinois, and California.
Also the affordability edge, right? Because our median housing price is about $415,000, which is still nearly 45% lower than some of the cities like Charlotte or Nashville.
And of course, the local economy. The Oak Ridge National Lab expansion and UT ongoing tech partnership have stabilized professional employment. Of course, keeping higher-end buyers in the region.
And it's truly a perfect blend, right? Because this is where lifestyle meets economic fundamentals. That's why neighborhoods like Farragut, Hardin Valley, and Sequoia Hills remain hot zones for long-term investments. If you want our insider data reports that include price trend maps and neighborhood heat indexes, make sure you're subscribed. And seriously, drop your market question below, because we will really pick 3 and feature it on our video, and maybe even possibly make a whole video out of just those questions.
Let's break down a few standout areas that continue to outperform both locally and nationally. Farragut still shows a strong appreciation, and it's the highest demand for custom builds, with average prices just above $800,000.
Taking a look at Hardin Valley, this is a place that has a high bit of tech professionals, new schools, and mid-luxury new construction from around $600,000 to about $750,000.
Now, Sequoia Hills. Historic meets modern renovations, consistent value, limited inventory, and stable demand.
Now, let's take a look at downtown Knoxville, right? This place is full of rapid revitalization. They're finally bringing that beauty back into Knoxville. Condo prices are up about 9% year over year, with continued investment in the Old City and Gay Street.
Now, each of these areas attract a different buyer profiles, but really everybody benefits from the same exact factor: Knoxville's growing reputation as a value-rich, lifestyle-driven metro that still feels accessible.
Nationwide, many markets are seeing softening prices and extended listing times. And this is due to affordability fatigue and higher borrowing costs. Knoxville is absolutely no exception to this, right? Knoxville's prices are starting to soften, and Knoxville is absolutely starting to slow down because there are listing times that are getting higher. We're just saying that Knoxville as a whole, compared to the rest of the country, is still quite a booming market. But don't think that Knoxville isn't slowing down when it comes to pricing and listing times.
Now, with this, we have to say Knoxville's fundamental stays strong. The inventory remains tight. We have about 2.5 months of inventory, and that is still tight. We need more homes on market.
Remember when it was 2 weeks of inventory? I mean, there was a point when seriously, it was an actual scare of were there going to be enough homes for anybody to buy? But, thankfully we've slowed down to a more normal market, if you will.
Now, the migration stays steady here, and the rental market is up about 12%. It all points to sustained strength, even when the national numbers are flattened.
And here's why it's important to have the understanding of local data. Because macro headlines, these rates are falling, rates are rising, prices are lowering, all that is just mumbo jumbo that's happening nationwide as a whole, but not necessarily in every single market around the country.
For buyers though, timing still matters. Inventory will likely tighten again the first quarter of 2026. For sellers, pricing strategy is your best friend. The presentation of your home, the positioning of your home, it's critical to capitalize on continued buyer demand.
And it's really important to know that we're here to help you understand the insider data. Like what's actually driving Knoxville's market compared to national headlines.
Again, what is your question about the greater Knoxville market today? Drop your comment below and we'll feature 3 of those questions in our next video.
And don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and tap that bell so you never miss a beat. And also, if you haven't caught our tour of homes, please check out this Parade of Homes tour because it's one of our favorite videos so far. It's a 3-part series, so check out all 3 videos. There's anything between $300,000 upwards up to $3 million worth of homes. So we had a lot of fun making them. We'd really appreciate it if you check it out.
See you next time.